So Captain America Civil War is almost here. The first reviews are out and the marketing has been kicking into high gear. I'm going to be breaking down some of the recently released clips and then make some predictions. If my predictions are right, there may be some spoilers, so you've been warned. Firstly, let me start off by saying that I have not seen the movie and I have stayed away from spoilers myself, so any predictions that I make are just pure predictions based on the clips and on the trailers. So this movie is going to pick up shortly after the events of Ant-Man and Avengers Age of Ultron. The Avengers roster is the same as the one at the end of Age of Ultron, and this clip shows us the new Avengers team working as a highly trained unit going after Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, who we last saw in a gurney all burnt up at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier. Crossbones, I think, is going to feature quite prominently in the first half of the movie at least. This scene appears to take place in Wakanda, as the security vehicles have a picture of Africa as part of their logo. It's possible these are private security for the IFID, which according to some leaked set photos stands for the Institute for Infectious Diseases. Crossbones is presumably still working for Hydra in some form or other, and is clearly after something very nasty at this facility. Cap is dropped in by Falcon, who pretty much demolishes a few Hydra agents. I think it's safe to say a couple of them are dead, or maimed at best. Falcon takes out another two. Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, is showing a lot more control over her powers, creates a shield and then tees up another bad guy for Falcon to clothesline. A drone then scans the building and locates Rumlow. Cap tells Wanda to get rid of the no doubt deadly gas. Interestingly, he pulls off the mask of one of Crossbones' goons. It appears he's not affected by this deadly gas, but I'm sure this goon is. I wonder if there's going to be the same outcry around this movie that Cap actually killed someone. Here's an interesting shot of Crossbones' awesome mech suit. As we know from the other trailers, this conflict is probably going to spill onto the streets of Wakanda and isn't going to end well, and probably is going to culminate in the Avengers once again being reprimanded. This time by General Thunderbolt Ross. Then here's another awesome clip which debuted on Jimmy Kimmel Live when Robert Downey Jr. and Team Iron Man came to the show. Interestingly, he mentioned there's going to be a flashback scene with a younger 24-year-old Tony Stark.
Here's the problem, and I'm not really giving anything away. You get to see Tony when he was really young. And then for the rest of the movie, it's me. I kept saying, where's that young guy?
And I wonder how they're going to tie that into the film. So here we see half of the scene, which we've only previously got glimpses of before. Bucky easily taking out some security at what looks like the Avengers facility. I assume this is how Tony gets his black eye and his arm lands in a sling. I have a theory that this may not be the real Bucky and that this might be a clone of the real Bucky who is still locked away in this facility in Russia that we saw in a previous trailer. Or at very least, this is still a very much brainwashed Bucky at this point. It seems that eventually it's Cap and Falcon that slow him down and put him in this vice. So anyway, back to the clip. Tony hits him with some kind of sonic pulse from his watch, which then also emits a massive blinding light. Tony then bravely or stupidly attempts to take on the Winter Soldier in hand-to-hand combat. He luckily manages to stop Bucky's attempted kill shot. A question which just came to me: if this is the new Avengers facility, how did Bucky manage to get in the first place? It's either he snuck in, which is possible but very unlikely, or he was perhaps allowed in willingly as a member of the team and then was somehow triggered by someone to go into full-blown assassin mode. I don't know, we'll have to see. Tony gives a wry smile because he's managed to disassemble Bucky's gun, but his grin is short-lived as Bucky proceeds to decimate him, Sharon Carter and Black Widow in the space of a few seconds. It was always going to be an unfair fight, as Bucky of course has similar strength levels to Cap. While he's strangling Natasha, she asks, "Do you at least recognize me?" So I think we can be pretty sure there's definitely brainwashing or cloning at play here. Cloning could also possibly explain his only partial memories in the Winter Soldier. And then finally we get a glimpse of T'Challa, not in his Black Panther suit, kicking Widow free. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see T'Challa, aka Black Panther, versus the Winter Soldier. This is possibly their first encounter. Their second we've seen in the trailer before as Black Panther pursues Bucky on a motorbike. The Black Panther is a rank of office in Wakanda, that of chieftain. The Black Panther is entitled to eat a special heart-shaped herb which gives T'Challa a mystical connection to the Panther god, but also gives him superhuman strength, speed and agility that more than matches that of Bucky. But let's see who wins in the movie. I can't wait to see. By the way, Emily Van Camp, who reprises her role as Sharon Carter from the Winter Soldier, remember Sharon is actually the niece of Peggy Carter from the first Captain America movie and Steve Rogers' first love, and is rumored to be his love interest in this movie. In an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, mentioned that her character starts out on Team Iron Man but doesn't necessarily stay there. She's obviously not a main character in the MCU, so I think her character's got a good chance of not making it out of this movie, if you know what I mean. So who do you think should win in a fight between T'Challa and Bucky? What do you think of these clips? I think they're flippin' awesome. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and then share it. If you haven't already, why not check out my full breakdown of the Captain America Civil War Trailer 2 breakdown, where I also explain where all the Infinity Stones are in the Marvel Universe. I post lots of videos every week on comic book, movies, TV, including Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and other blockbusters, so why not subscribe? Thanks again, cheers for now.